Or they may be playing football and the crowd is yelling, kill the referee. But no matter what the score, when the clock strikes 4, everything stops for tea.
Hi and welcome to Spill the Champagne, the show for British expats and anyone who loves all things British. My name's Ian.
And my name is Sam. We're going to spill some tea as well today. You can expect celebrity interviews, great features, and on today we're going to cover Christmas and New Year.
Hi.
Happy 2020.
Happy 2020 to you. I couldn't resist it. We had such a fun show when we did rebrand for the New Year's Eve show.
We did. It was brilliant.
Yeah. So I was thinking, we're back to tea. In fact, we pre-poured the tea today.
We have pre-poured our tea because you've seen how we juggle around the teacups, especially when we've got a guest, and invariably someone does spill the tea. But that's the whole point of the show anyway.
But we needed it. We needed it this morning.
Did you know this, though, when you're having your tea? We are doing this correctly right now by not using the saucer.
Oh.
But if we were at a garden tea party, then you would be using your saucer. But when you actually sat down, you don't need to lift your saucer up.
That's why I've never been invited to any of them. Because I'm just holding like a mug.
But yeah, it's a bit...
In fact, I was going to use a mug for my tea because I needed that much tea, but apparently not. So it's you and me today.
It's you and me.
It's you and me.
And a cup of tea.
You, me, and a cup of tea. Ah, see, I like that, actually.
Yeah, we'll use that for something.
Yeah. Well, we call it the kitchen sink show, just usually because it's got everything in it.
It's got everything in it.
But I kind of like the you, me, and a cup of tea.
You, me, and a cup of tea. So let's stop calling it the kitchen sink show.
All right.
You, me, and a cup of tea.
We've just rebranded.
They're right there in front of your very eyes.
I love it.
Look how creative we are, Ian.
Ain't we?
Have you ever been to, talking about garden parties, you know the Queen has these scheduled garden parties at Buckingham Palace?
Yes.
Have you ever been?
No. I'd like to go. That'd be a bucket list item.
I definitely want to do that. So I'm going to see when that happens. Probably it's going to, I'm sure, summertime.
Yeah.
And Jim and I are going back anyway in June.
So how are you going to score an invite?
So we're going to, well, I think you have to apply. I think you apply and pay, of course.
Don't you get invited?
No,
Or don't you have to be a part of an association or a group or Aren't they not theme based? I mean, they don't all dress up in costumes.
I don't know.
We're doing a Star Wars theme.
I mean, I'll just call Buckingham Palace again because I've called Buckingham Palace before.
Have you?
Yeah. And you know how they answer? Hello, Buckingham Palace. Yes, they do.
Okay.
And the reason I was doing that was my dog clothing line. As you know, the Queen dresses her dogs in coats and stuff. Mainly
so you were trying
tartan.
to doing a bit of a sort of cold calling
I
and
would
sales.
like to send the Queen the rock and roll denim jackets for the dogs, you know.
I could totally see
I
her
had
dogs
the best
wearing
conversation with the lady on the phone. She was so lovely. But she said, we can't just accept gifts. She's because of security. And all the gifts are solicited.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and because of course they have to know what's coming in. They still have
You
to
just
screen
want to be able
it.
to put the by royal appointment on the.
That's exactly what I want to have
Yeah.
by royal appointment, because you know that seal it means a lot.
It
you know,
would.
it means the Queen uses that product, and she loved the idea.
Right.
But she said we do solicit for security reasons. I can't
No, that makes
imagine the
sense.
amount of stuff that they get sent to Buckingham Palace anyway.
Well, probably, yeah. I would have
It's
thought.
got to be a lot.
Yeah,
so especially when the kids get born and all of that, you know.
I can just imagine. I've got this vision of the Crown, like when they actually would call through, and there's like a whole bank of people doing the plugging, and everyone's listening in.
Yes.
And that's how you got to speak to them. But I'm assuming it's a little bit more updated now.
Well, I know they're doing the big renovation. So
Oh, yeah.
who knows?
Who knows?
Maybe they'll just keep it for, what's the word? Not austerity.
Posterity.
No, posterity. You know, just to say it's still there. But I know there was an asbestos problem, so they've had to refurb, and they say it's going to be absolutely spectacular.
Oh.
But yeah, so isn't that interesting? So yeah, everybody wants a seal. They want the by royal appointment, and I just whacked my
You keep
mic.
hitting your microphone.
I just
It's a good
whacked
start.
my mic a million times.
You know, speaking of the Crown, though, I was told, because I'm only up to kind of midway through season 2.
Mm-hmm.
I've kind of been sort of savouring it, a bit like good chocolate. You don't want to eat it all at one time.
Yes.
But I've heard that season 3 isn't as good.
Really?
Yeah. Have you not watched it?
It's because I only watched the very beginning of the first one.
Wait, you haven't?
No, because I've been doing my Downton Abbey. I've been doing a bunch of other. I've been doing the Guardian. I've been doing. There's only so much you don't watch in a night.
I would have had you down and watched the whole lot by now.
I'll get there. I'll do a full-on binge. On that one.
Well, and this was the thing. I was kind of looking forward to the whole Victoria Coleman thing, but apparently, I'm not saying that it's just not as. I think Claire Foy was really good, and so was what's his name, who played.
We can never
Prince
remember anyone's names, by the way. Put me in the comments below.
The former Doctor who played Prince Philip in the first 2 seasons. Anyway, him.
Yes. Yes, I know who you mean.
They were great. They were so perfect. And I think it was just hard to kind of...
transition through them aging.
Yeah.
I think that was the issue, wasn't it, with a lot of these things, is do you get someone new or do you try and make them look old?
They're
it doesn't
more
look great.
well-known as well. Like, with Olivia Colman, she's more well-known. And the other guy who's now playing Philip, which again, can't remember his name, but I watched Outlander.
Oh, yeah.
And he's the main character in that. So now I'm kind of,
I tell you something. British actors, they work their whole lives. There's no ageism. You don't have to be gorgeous looking, which I think that's why I like British programming. It's very real. Right. But gosh, they work a lot.
They do.
In various shows.
Yeah.
Here, there, and everywhere.
The other thing I heard, though, was that it wasn't... They were taking a lot of artistic license. There were things they were putting in the 3rd season that actually didn't happen. Now, I'm sure in the first 2 seasons something like that also happened to some degree, but it's loosely based around facts. But apparently, and I don't even know what these things are, but they're not. They're making stuff up. They don't have to make stuff up with the royal family.
There's so
much material.
You don't have to make anything up. Now, I love all those shows.
And the thing is, where do they stop as well? When are they going? Are they going to be like, we've got one more episode because Andrew's just done something else.
Right.
We can squeeze in some more material.
Right.
May as well just do one more.
They're like,
and
no.
it'll end last week.
That's right. That's right. It's funny, these shows, and I've just found that there's been such a resurgence of new shows, which are old shows, coming back, which I love. I wish more variety shows would come back. A friend of mine binge-watched Last Laugh in Vegas that I worked on 2 years ago, based in Vegas, all our British celebrities. And she just said it was so much fun to watch a variety show.
No, absolutely.
And I really wish variety would come back. But I have been watching...
But we lost Kenny Lynch recently.
We did.
Yeah, I thought about you about that.
Gosh, I loved working with him.
Yeah.
I mean, a nice guy, funny, spoke his mind, and a fantastic singer.
Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't realise Up on the Roof was his song.
Was it really?
Yes, that was his big hit. That was his really big hit.
He wrote that or he sung it?
He was the original. I don't know if he wrote it, but he was the original.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then other people...
If he wrote it, then he was fine.
And then other people covered it.
Oh.
And I found a little clip of some kind of black and white documentary where he's revisiting where he grew up, but he's in, I think it was a Rolls Royce,
Oh, nice.
I'll have to find it because it was really, really interesting. But yeah, really sad.
Yeah.
It's
Great
like,
performer.
there are national treasures. But variety needs to come back. I did watch London Palladium, the variety show, which you can get on BritBox now. And that's fabulous. And it is variety, strangely enough. A lot of Vegas acts were on it.
Oh, really?
Like people we know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think I'm being a bad expat because I'm not actually on BritBox or anything.
Oh, it's so...
I get BBC America and that's about it. But and obviously whatever else you can get through Amazon, just through Netflix.
Through shows, I find that a lot of the stuff on Amazon is so dated.
Yeah.
So...
We're very mellow today,
we are
aren't we?
mellow
I was
today.
just thinking that. I was thinking,
it's because we've gone through Christmas, we've gone through New Year. I mean, New Year was fantastic, wasn't it? I mean,
it was.
We did our show thanks to Mark McGarry, who helped us out.
It was noisy.
It was noisy because we were in Macmillan's Irish pub. And it was rammed in there, wasn't it? And we'd got the entertainment going and we had our little spot. And a lot of our guests were there, which I thought was really nice. So they came in and everybody was celebrating.
It was like a remix of everything, all the other shows.
It was a remix. mix, and it was just such a good atmosphere to be able to count down British New Year at 4 p.m.
Yeah, it was actually tough to do the one that night, 8 hours later, because I felt like I'd already had my New Year's Eve. And afternoon drinking is never good if you're trying to then go out.
Well, I think you were
night.
morning drinking and afternoon drinking,
May have
evening
been.
drinking.
Which would account for my mellow demeanour.
Maybe. It's kind of
Now,
exhausting.
we've had
It takes a while to get over Christmas
It does
and
a
New
bit.
Year, but it was really fun, and it's nice to see non-Brits who came down to celebrate at 4 p.m. and loved it. By the way,
Right.
loved it. They said this is perfect.
Yeah,
Then I can just go home, which is what I did. I went home, took my makeup off, had a bath, put my reindeer onesie on,
Nice.
like you do, with my dogs. Jim was not with me because Jim was playing Frankie Moreno's show at the South Point. I knew he wasn't going to get home till, I don't even know, 1:30 in the morning.
Right.
But I stayed home. But what I don't like about the programming? So much of it is pre-recorded. And I know it has to be for technical issues. When they go to New York, so much of that stuff was pre-recorded.
What do you mean? Not the countdown aspect?
Not the countdown, but all the performances.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, you can tell.
Yeah.
It's like, but I don't know if Mariah performed because...
Well, because she messed up. Was it last year or a year before?
Twice, I think. But I kind of liked it.
Yeah, she was just like, whatever. I don't care.
She was. I forgot what she said at the end of it. It was so funny because she couldn't hear herself.
Right.
Which I'm sure is a singer's living nightmare. If you cannot hear through your monitor, what the heck? And she was just saying stuff on the mic, and I thought it was the best thing I'd ever seen. So I missed her. If she did perform, I missed her entirely.
Right.
I did love the costume, the clothes that Julianna Huf wore. She was co-hosting with Carson Daly.
Yeah, I didn't see any of this stuff.
Didn't see any of that?
Well, no, because I was out.
And they replay it. I mean, they do replay it over and over. But I really enjoyed that. And I actually missed I missed Jim and Frankie's show entirely. People were texting me, I just saw him on TV. I don't know. I was on the wrong channel, clearly.
Oh, right.
But I thought, it was the first year I thought, I don't think I can actually stay awake till midnight.
Yeah, I found a bit of a stretch. I mean, we were down on the Strip and at Amanda's husband's Patrick at his restaurant.
Yeah.
And, just went out on the terrace, saw the whole fireworks for 15 minutes and went back into the warm again.
Why is the music not great, though? I'm serious. Who let the dogs out? Come on.
What music?
When they play on TV, they play a whole...
Oh, no, you don't hear the music when
compilation.
For the
fireworks
here in Las Vegas.
Yeah, so what they do, it's dubbed on top.
I'm quite pleased I didn't hear that.
It's the same. Who let the dogs out? Like, why?
Why would they do
another
that?
weird tracks. There's so many fantastic.
Because when I think of New Year's Eve and midnight, I think of Who Let the Dogs Out. That's right.
I know. I just felt it was. I always feel like it's weird, and I think they always play that particular song.
That's odd.
There are so many fantastic songs throughout the year. Like, come on, can we make it a bit current? And I hate that song anyway, because as you know, I work with animals. Every pet event, it's Who Let the Dogs Out. Anyone that writes an article, it's always gone to the dogs. I can't stand it. Can we be a bit more creative when we're writing about animals? Like, come on, people.
It's a complete dog's dinner, innit?
But is that, I mean, well, it is. And I mean, is that, it's gone to the dogs is probably not a really positive phrase anyway. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's true.
And they do it. They match that title with good stories. Stop. That should be a New Year's resolution, which we should probably get onto. New Year's resolutions. Stop playing. Who Let the Dogs Out? And it's gone to the dogs.
You doing any?
Yeah.
What you doing?
I'll tell you what I'm doing with a bunch of my friends. I'm not the kind of person that's like, I'm not that kind of person that likes, I can't stand to see a motivational quote.
Right.
Because to read it doesn't motivate me. It just doesn't. It doesn't work. It's something that I think has to come from within.
Right.
It has to be something that comes from within. And often I see people post them And I know they're not living by that motivational
Well,
quote,
no, probably not.
but I do have a group of friends that I went to stage school with from being a young kid.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you probably still have friends from when you were...
Yeah, I mean, through the power of Facebook, for sure.
Yeah, and so we've remained friends for over many decades, but we have our own little private group. And I looked at all of us and I thought, we do so much for other people and charity work, and I'll help you out and da-da-da, but I never saw any of us doing anything for ourselves. I mean, I would joke, hey, I got to paint my nails this week. It's been a good week. I mean, if that's the only thing I got to do for myself all week, that's kind of sad. And I don't mean going to get them done. I just paint my own nails.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You know, so I thought, I wrote a little thing to my friends and I said, you know, it got me thinking, we all do so much. We've all been through a lot this year. You know, some of my friends have lost family members or ill family members or all kinds of stuff. Happens to lots of people. But I never see anyone looking after themselves.
Right.
I'm not a big fan of the self-care word, although people understand that. So I said, why don't we all just start doing something nice for ourselves every day? Doesn't have to be expensive, doesn't have to be elaborate. You know, it's things that make us feel good. So we did this whole thing of examples. You know, I never read one book last year. Oh, no, I read some things on nutrition, but I never actually read one book last year, which I like to
pleasure,
read. Just for fun, to get, you know, involved in something that's just nothing to do with the outside world.
Yeah.
So, and I felt bad about that. So it was like, you know, can you read one chapter of your book every day? Sit down, have a cup of tea, and have some quiet time and do some breathing.
Yeah.
You know, sit and binge watch a show and not feel bad about it.
I did that over the holidays.
Yeah.
You know, it's between Christmas and New Year.
Yeah.
But only because not really many other people were working, and so you didn't feel as guilty.
And I don't think you should feel guilty for looking after
it's
yourself.
not, well, maybe guilty is the wrong word.
Because I know there's always work.
Well, there is, but you know, I would mirror that. I would say my I don't really have a resolution, but you know, if there's a moment to think maybe there's a possibility to give a little bit more balance to a bit more to me and less about the small stuff. I mean, you know, every time you hear somebody's story where it's, you know, they've got life into perspective, something's happened, maybe something hasn't happened, but they really just focus on what's important, and it really does come back to us and you know, the people that are closest to us.
That's right. And I've realized that relationships are so important. And yeah, you love your family, you love your friends, but how often do you see them? When do you get together for a coffee?
Right.
You don't, you know. And I really feel that people need that interaction with people. So that was one of them.
And I think it's been a tough year generally. I think
for lots of people.
And I think more so even over the New Year kind of break. There was more people who let you know that through the power of social media, that they, you know, again, the lens that we project, but ultimately there was people that said, well, I'm really pleased 2019's done, and blah, blah, blah. So I think generally speaking, it would be a good thing for many people just to kind of give themselves a little bit more time.
Yes.
And not, I mean, in some ways it's switching off. I mean, you know, don't switch off right now.
No, don't do that, because we hope that this is like a guilty pleasure of yours.
Right. But I mean, you know, the ability to turn this thing off of an evening or a weekend.
Take time away from social media if you can. If you've got a business, pre-schedule everything and then turn it off. You know, if you're not a doctor on call, you know, you don't have to answer everything immediately.
I heard somebody say that they, you know, by doing so, they were only checking their email once every hour or two, and I'm like, well, that's But when you think about it, you know,
sorry.
You're determined to beat up the microphone.
I must be Italian somewhere, because I'm always using my hands and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like it.
I would never.
But we've got to that point.
We have, and it becomes
devices.
almost addictive. Like pick up, pick up. You know, it makes no sense.
I'm that person. You know?
It's terrible, isn't it? So I think all those things. That some of the other things were just literally put a face mask on, you know, at night watching television. I mean, look after yourself. You know, walk your dogs, cuddle with your pets, because don't know if you know this, but your body operates on two systems. You've got your fight or flight, or you've got your feed, what they call rest and digest. Yeah. And most people are in fight or flight mode. And they call that the, sympathetic system. Oh, I'm having it right, not making a mistake. And then you have your parasympathetic system, which is what you want to be focused on. And there's a nerve, and it's called the vagus nerve, but not Vegas as in VEGAS.
We got the nerve.
But it's VEGUS, I think.
Right.
And that is a main nerve that goes to all of your organs. And if you stimulate that, then you'll end up being less stressed. You'll activate that. You won't be in your fight or flight because you don't want to be there unless you're running away from a bear. You know what I mean? Then that does need to kick in. And you need to really work on that because that helps you, relaxes your body. And there's some interesting ways in which you can do that. And I learned this from my functional medicine doctor. Humming activates that vagus nerve. Humming. You know, even when people go hum.
Yeah.
Humming is one of them. Gargling is another one.
Okay.
Can you believe this?
No.
But it fully activates that nerve. So if you're feeling stressed, you could be doing this. Cuddling with your pets is another way. And there's a whole splashing your face with cold water activates that vagus nerve. So I think we need to, lots of people living in stress.
Right.
We need to not be living in stress. And that is what I've learned this year too. And I think often we get into a state of stress where we live in it, then it starts to feel normal.
Right.
And that's not good. That is not good for anybody. So isn't that a little interesting? You know, gargling, humming.
What about coughing?
Stroking your cat.
Does coughing count?
I'm not sure.
Sorry, I had to do that.
I'm not sure about that. But, you know, there are lots of little things that you can do that really do help. So, you know, I said we talked about it in this group. We all committed to it. And every day we just write down what we've done. Like for me, I did some gardening. Love gardening. One of the best things you can do for your mind and your body. It's fantastic.
Right.
I did a little bit of gardening. So the weather's been really nice out here. Friends were like, I went to bed early and I started reading my book. You know, and I tell you what else I got, since to my Christmas and all that stuff. I got a thing called a weighted blanket as a gift. Ever heard of it?
No.
You've never heard of it? You need one.
All right.
You might need two.
Okay.
So back to that, you know, getting proper sleep and restful sleep. If you don't have it, we know it fully affects your health. It causes stress. It makes you very grumpy. You can't function properly. But a weighted blanket is mine, and Jim has one too, is glass beads, very small glass beads within a quilted blanket.
Okay.
And it weighs 20 pounds. Well, they weigh various amounts. So
it's literally what it sounds like. It's
is weighted.
It's a heavy blanket.
It's a heavy blanket. So if you think about how you would swaddle a baby, or, you know, if my dogs get scared, I put between my legs a little bit of pressure. I think Temple Grandin, if you know who she is, I think she did a lot of work on that with people who had autism. It's a feeling of feeling secure, which who doesn't want to feel secure? And it's not like a big giant hug, yeah? Now, you buy them based on your body weight. It's 10% of your body weight. So you weigh 200 pounds, you need, 20 pounds. I did that.
All right.
I saw your face there, like, don't ask me the answer. Hey, all women can calculate percentages because we know how to find clearance prices in shops.
There you go, perfect. But so it's just this feeling of weight.
This feeling of weight
around
and
you.
A lot of people ask me, like, does it feel weird? Do you feel claustrophobic? Is it hot? No, it's not. It's glass beads. I am a sleepwalking, sleep talking, walking out the house, doing all kinds of random things since being born, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I was envious of people that could sleep through the night. So envious to put your head down, wake up and go, it's the morning, and feel refreshed. Never been that person. So I get this. My friend Kat Hicklin, she and her husband Todd Fisher gave me this blanket as a gift. She also gave me a pregnancy pillow. No, I'm clearly not having a baby. But I like a pillow up my back.
Uh-huh.
It's perfect for that. It's U-shaped. It's amazing. So I'm there. The blanket, 12 hours straight. Didn't wake up.
Wow.
Jim thought I was dead. Are you going to get up at any time soon? I was like, no, I love this blanket because I've never slept that way.
I've never even...
So I had tons of friends who got them as gifts as well. They go, well, I haven't used it yet. I'm like, get it on your bed straight away. But I also use Jim's when I'm on the sofa. The dogs like it. Now, of course, I wouldn't use it on my dogs if I wasn't around because, it weighs 20 pounds. But we have fireworks going off on New Year's Eve on our street, which is a little bit of a nightmare. And I put the blanket on them, help them calm down. Ian, you got to get one. I'll send you a link. I
was just looking at pictures of them.
I found that the best prices were on Amazon because they can go up to $300.
All right.
But I think they're the ones that got a really nice plushy cover. You don't need a cover. You can put a duvet cover on it,
Yeah.
But I think you would love it.
Well, I'll give it a go.
So it's all those little things and meditating. I think
What about hypnosis?
Oh, let's get on to that because I had some of that actually over Christmas.
Oh, you did?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of a panic attack while I was at my friend's house, who happens to be a hypnotherapist.
Oh, well, that helps.
And I'm a big believer in hypnosis.
You were just after a little free session, weren't you?
I love.
Oh, I'm having a panic attack.
I love hypnosis. It's helped me in so many ways.
Well, I've experienced it now.
And now we can share in your experience.
Yeah.
Because tell people, we had Cherry Bly come on. She's a certified hypnotherapist as well. And she said, yep, come in. Because what was your issue?
I've got many issues.
Give us the list.
Yeah, I was going to say, how many sessions can I book? Bulk sessions.
You'll be with me for life, Ian.
Bulk prices, yeah. No, it was for, we were talking about tinnitus, because I have like the high pitch ringing in the ears. I mean, just being around this industry all my life, it's a noisy industry. And so, yeah, I went along and we, I wasn't sure what to expect.
Which I think is always good to not have some preconceived notions.
Yeah.
Because you're open to whatever it is.
Right. And I'm not, I guess the first time you're not sure whether you're there or not. It sounds wrong actually, but you know what I mean.
It's the one thing I think that puts people off because they think they won't have a clue what's happening.
Right. And you are conscious, but then I'm questioning, am I there? Am I benefiting from this? And then they're saying, or Sherry was saying, you're gonna be able to sort of have thoughts. You're gonna be, conscious. And
yes.
I'm like, all right, but it did feel like a very deep sense of calm and being and focus.
But being hyper focused.
Yes.
It's an
definitely.
amazing. That's how I describe my sleepwalking. Actually, is I'm clearly relaxed because I'm sleepwalking around.
Right.
But I sometimes know what I'm doing, but I can't stop myself.
But that probably makes you, as they say, highly suggestible.
Oh yeah, I'm sure of it. I'm sure.
And I was totally open to it, and I think I was there.
Oh, you were there.
You
were there. You were just in such an amazing state of being calm.
There was a couple of times that I sort of was more conscious of, or more interested actually about what she was saying in the sense of, like, oh, I see why she's saying that. And when she does that, she does this thing at the same time to reinforce. And then I'm like, stop analyzing it and just experience it.
And just take it in.
Yeah.
Because it does work, and it is amazing. It's mind management. And the way I explain it to people is, I used to be frightened of the dentist. Now I love going to the dentist, but it's like roller coasters.
Right.
Do you perceive it as scary or thrilling? It's the same thing. It's a roller coaster.
Right.
And it's all about how you perceive things as well.
Yeah.
But you can manage your mind and change those things,
But I got the recording of it.
Fantastic.
And then I've been using that, but I need to do it kind of more regularly.
Yeah.
Not my tongue.
Not when you're driving, though.
Not when you're driving, no. But it's I found it's been really good to kind of relax me before I go to bed.
Yes. And the thing is, you might fall asleep, but you'll still hear it.
Yeah.
And it still works.
Right.
How is the?
It may have calmed a little bit.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I know particularly when I went, it was really, I'd just been to like some shows and didn't have earplugs. So it was really loud.
At the pitch, right.
So I could say that's the case. I mean, things like tea doesn't help. Alcohol doesn't help. Coffee doesn't help.
Well, we know what your New Year's resolutions need to be.
Cut out tea, coffee, and alcohol?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not. So, you do have to manage it. And, of course, the easiest way is to stay away from really loud environments. If you do, make sure you have the ear protection, which everybody should do.
Everybody should. Musicians should. Everybody should. Singers, protect your ears.
Really, for sure. We live in a loud world.
We do. So, how did you sleep that night, though?
Oh, good. Yeah, no, really good that night.
Yeah.
It was, I think I would definitely go back. I'm gonna keep using the recordings and see how that does.
Keep it going, honestly, because you can manage your mind. It's mind management, and you can get rid of fears and things that are just debilitating and affect your life. That I just think, oh my gosh, no, you don't have to deal with that.
But we talked. I mean, they have to know, I guess, what your best way of presenting it that's going to use your own words.
That's right, because it's going to be so individualized.
Yeah, and we talked for a long while about those, and so that she could kind of make a whole bunch of notes. And
what works for you? It's like when I had my professional organising company. Getting organised is not the same for everybody. It's down to personalities. How do you put your shoes away? I'd work with couples, and the wife would say, I'd love to have all my shoes in boxes, clean. I can see them in a picture on the front. How would your husband put his shoes away? He's just going to throw them on a rack. So that's what we did. I wasn't going to make someone put their shoes in a box if he was ever going to put them in the box. You know what I mean? So it's got to really work for you and be tailored to what you do.
Right.
But it is, I think, one of the most amazing. I think a lot of people use it in England, but I think we're very much into those. We're very open to lots of stuff like that anyway. I mean, like the royal family, they not the word holistic. Yes, thank you very much.
Travis in the back there.
They do all the homeopathic stuff, which is amazing.
Oh, right.
And they have done forever and a day. And I'm a big believer in, if you don't have to go down the drugs path and you can get something that works for you, fantastic.
Yeah.
And I do. I'm a big believer in that. So I think you'll find it'll improve over time and over time.
Well, yeah. I mean, and I think all of that. I mean, stress peaks it up as well.
Oh, for sure.
So I think coming back to what we were saying, I think it will be a good practice to just kind of relax a little bit.
And breathe.
That sounds so easy just to say, though, doesn't it?
I know. Well, I think the difference being
make choices that will make you be able to relax.
That's right, and you have to find what it is for you. I mean, meditation, and a lot of people get confused by meditation. They think it's about emptying your mind, which is impossible. Because if I said to you, Ian, don't think about eating a crunchy. You're going to want a crunchy. You're going to think about that crunchy. But it's about letting thoughts, they come in, they come out, they come in, come out. I can meditate now, even when my dogs are barking at someone at the window walking by the house. It does not bother me. My dad was like that, though. My dad was very big into transcendental meditation.
Right.
And with 5 crazy girls running around the house and lots of questions for him, and he would just sit on that sofa. He'd have his hands like this, his eyes closed. And he'd be meditating and would be, Dad, do you know where blah, 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 blah is? And he would answer you dead calm and continue on.
Wow.
And I think when you get to that stage, Jim and I, we promised that we would do more meditation together. Last night was funny. I think we did our meditation at 7:30. It literally was a 10-minute meditation. 7:30. 12:30 we woke up.
Oh, wow. That good, huh?
That good. But the breathing is, it's proven breathing will lower your stress levels. It will slow you down because we breathe here instead of breathing from here.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, have you taken a deep breath today? Have you actually looked up at the sky today? Have you actually opened up today?
This was another thing I'd heard actually is by using the senses to assist you in a calming kind of way. So like if you look at wherever you are, if you try to get yourself into some sort of outside environment, not necessarily in the space that consumes you, but then see 5 things that you wouldn't normally look at and notice them and absorb them
and appreciate them.
Yeah, and then listen for 4 sounds that you wouldn't usually hear.
Right.
And then it's all, and then smell. Get the different smells, which may not be 3. That might be 1. But the whole idea is you count down. Touch 2 things, actually physically touch something.
I love
that
this.
You wouldn't usually go out of your way in an appropriate manner.
In a legal way.
Well, officer.
Or privately home.
I was told on Spill the Tea to go and touch something that I'd never touched before.
But
the idea is that it's really, it just takes your mind away, and it uses your senses to.
But here's the thing, and I'm going to come back to dogs for you for a second. When people walk their dogs and they don't let them sniff and they don't let them stop.
Right.
We should be doing that. I do that with my dogs. Yes, the dog walks longer, but the walk's for the dog because they use every sense in their body.
So you're saying that we should be doing what the dogs are doing?
We should be doing what the dogs are doing. Stop, smell the roses, not someone else's bum. But stop, explore. Appreciate what is this?
Right.
My walks are definitely longer, but it's called there's a name for this type of walks, decompression walk. Now, whether you've got a pet or not, you should be doing that, especially if you have city life.
Like right now, I'm doing the tappy leg thing. The bouncy leg thing.
Right.
And I wasn't even aware that I was doing it. I'm like, oh look.
Oh,
see?
the leg's going.
Yeah. Man, we got some stuff.
But there's so many small things. I mean, essential oils. If you have pets, whatever you do, because I'm sorry, I'm throwing the pets a lot, but detox in your home. Stop using dryer sheets. They're so toxic to you and your pets. When it gets hot, those chemicals go up in the air, and guess who's inhaling them? What do you clean your floors with? Go back to your basics, because eliminating toxins from your house will make you feel better as well. Right. There's so many things that you can do, and they're simple. It costs nothing, but that's basically what we committed to do. And it's great to see people in that my friends in that group say, I did this. I met a friend for coffee today. I feel so much better for that.
And you're off of the, talking about cutting things out. You're not doing the sugar and the everything and anything, right?
I talked about my functional medicine doctor, and I've been with her since before I went to England.
Right.
And I just wanted to really, really improve my health. I felt pretty stressed. We've been through a lot of stuff the last year, and just wasn't at my usual energy level, excitement, enthusiasm. I just wasn't there.
Right.
And so she's actually my chiropractor as well, which you'll find that a lot of chiropractors are functional medicine doctors too. And I started on this program, and I've got some willpower, but I needed extra willpower because at phase 1 of the, I'm calling it a diet. It's a nutrition plan. There's no calorie counting at all. I do have to calculate the right amount of protein that I need every day. Clearly, I was not eating because I just eat fish. That's all I fish and eggs. I don't do other meats. But I realized, one, I don't eat enough. I mean, 3 meals a day was like, this is hard work. Eating 3 times a day, I'd work.
But it's smaller though, right?
It's much smaller.
Yeah.
But now it's 4 times a day. Lots of whole food supplements. If you don't know about them, do not take synthetic supplements. Your body doesn't recognize them. They're going to be whole foods made from food. I take a lot of them because it's all, your blood work's done, all your chemistry, lots of tests and stuff. And they get a great picture of where you are, and they can correct everything. And I'm going to be there for a whole year going through all of this.
So how have you felt so far as a result of that?
You know what she did say to me in the beginning, because she doesn't always take every client on, because she needs to know you're ready.
Yeah.
Because she wants success for you, and you want success because you're paying for it.
Yeah.
It took a while. First of all, taking that many supplements was just like, oh, no, I wasn't very good at taking tablets anyway, but now I'm quite a champ with it. And then, preparation is the biggest thing. If you can prep those meals, it makes your life so much easier.
I did that because, I guess in the summer, actually, I did the same thing. I started out trying to do the whole keto thing.
Yes.
And it was definitely about meal prep.
Yeah.
And I did pretty well, but I don't think I actually really got the keto results. I think I just ate less.
But you definitely lost weight.
No,
though.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, and the nice thing is I sort of stopped a little bit before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Which is a good time to stop.
It's that time, isn't it?
And I'm going to be about to kind of go back on it, which is tough because that first week is really hard.
It's hard.
Especially when you're giving up carbs.
Yes.
But once you get past that hurdle, it's fine.
Yeah.
But I only gained like four and a half pounds or so.
From Thanksgiving to
Right,
now.
right. So,
Yeah.
which was a pleasant surprise because I don't get on the scales and, I didn't do that.
I mean, for
and
me,
I did the other day and it was like, oh, that was actually better than I thought.
I mean, I didn't go for weight loss. Yes, I needed to do weight loss, but I didn't feel good. So that was my biggest motivation.
Right.
But through that, I did lose quite a bit of weight through it.
No, I can see it. I mean, you can see it. If you feel better, that's great.
I'm buying smaller clothes, pretty happy about that, and almost like reshopping in my closet now because there's things that didn't fit now, they fit. But it is a long process because it doesn't involve drugs.
Right.
But there's so much here we go again, biofeedback.
Yeah.
There's so much. I mean, that questionnaire, every time I go, is nearly 300 questions.
Wow.
So detailed about how you eat, when do you eat, do you get indigestion, when do you get it, is it straight away, is it straight after? From this, they can tell you, you don't have enough stomach acid to be breaking down your nutrients.
Huh.
Are you drinking water while you're having your meals? That's a no-no.
Oh, yeah.
So it's so fine-tuned, and then your supplements get adjusted. And there's great support through phone and email as well between appointments, which has been brilliant, But she did say to me, it takes time and you're going to need patience, And at times I've been like, but I'm on the upward swing now. I've only been doing it a couple of months.
Yeah.
So,
it's great though.
So I'm going to be there for a year. Going to England was hard.
Well,
I wanted my Greggs, pastries and stuff.
But can you have cheat days or?
Well, it's funny because that wasn't on that today, but I did meet with her, and she said, do you guys know about the 90-10 rule? And I was like, no. And she was like, if you can stick on this 90% of the time, and there's 10%, you might have a little cheat here or there. No, I've stuck to it like like a military operation. Even my family said to me, I don't know how you've done it over Christmas we have so much chocolate in our house and I've not touched any of it. I don't know how I've done it. I've baked for friends and I haven't touched it. I don't know how I've done it. But that's phase one.
Well, if you can do that, then everything else is going to be easy.
It is, because you go to phase two, and phase two is basically have a metabolic blood test that, it reads all your sugars and everything. It'll tell you whether you can move on to the next thing, because the whole point is to reduce inflammation.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. So, it's going to feel like gourmet. We can add in a little bit of fruit, because I've had no fruit. It's basically protein and veg and herbal tea, which, by the way, is boring as heck more than anything. It's so boring.
What is?
Just herbal teas.
Just herbal
They're
teas.
just boring, But and I think that's been the biggest challenge. Was like, I'm not really.
Is that
hungry.
why that's sitting in front of me, not having too much?
I've had a
that's
little bit of
tea.
it, yeah. I'm not going to do caffeine free, so I don't even know what that is. I might be bouncing off the walls in
you
a
might
bit.
do.
But it's. I think it's a fantastic way of especially for the new year. And I started before, but it's a fantastic way to do things naturally.
It is.
It's and it'll become a lifestyle, which it does. After a while, you go. Yeah, no, I'm not thinking about having a creamy latte. I'm not thinking about, and I was that girl. I loved a creamy latte, and and you don't think about that. So for me, the resolution is just continuing on with that, But I think if you do things that are small, you can, and things that help you, make you feel good,
Exactly.
Like I read a book. I can't believe I read a book, I haven't done it for a year,
Well, we weren't really planning on, like most shows when we start them, we don't really know what we're going to be talking about.
I know.
But this sort of turned into sort of a, the self-care show.
Don't really, or the year of me.
Yeah, well, no, it is. I mean, and these are all really good things. And so I think we were in that kind of chilled sort of mood today, weren't we?
Yeah, because I feel like, it's, I say it was difficult for me getting through Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, nutritionally, what I mean?
Yeah.
Just being busy through that time. I think lots of people are tired and you're just like, all right, let's just have a little chill out show,
Yeah. No, I've enjoyed it.
But I tell you what I did watch that I loved, and it really, really was, it was so heartwarming, was Gavin and Stacey, the Christmas special.
Oh.
And you've not seen it yet. So
no, I'm not a Gavin and Stacey kind of guy. I did hear that there was a little bit of controversy over it.
I don't know where it was. I'm going to have to go back and watch it again because I didn't see any controversy in it. But obviously I'm not going to give it away. But lots of people loved it, and I thought the end was fantastic, and it could open up something new. with the end of it. But it was really, really good. And as you know, it's James Corden that was in it, which was really put him on the map in England. Now look where he is.
But this was a new record.
It was a new record.
So he came back.
He came back to do it.
It's good that he did that.
Which I was hoping it would just be the same character. You know what I mean? Because how some people can change when they get really, really famous in America. I was like, I hope it's not going to be that. I hope it's going to be that. But I didn't realise. I think he wrote Gavin and Stacey and developed the characters and stuff like that. Yeah, a heck of a lot of input into it.
Right.
So I think there was a big part of that. And I really, really enjoyed it. So I do hope something more comes out of it. Exactly. And then I guess if we've got time for one more story.
What? The network's not exactly going to throw us off. We just might run out of people that watch us.
How long have we been going? I don't know.
3 days.
We've been how long? Oh, 4 days. Oh. Well, I think this will be a good one too. Oh, actually, do you want to talk about BFF or not? Not
yes, she's going to be. We're taking a week. This is the You, Me and a Cup of Tea show.
You and Me and a Cup of Tea.
But Eve Dawes, her BFF show, will be back next week.
Yes.
And she's already sent stuff. Actually, to be fair, she sent it over the files over
already.
Christmas, but they timed out. When you're supposed to download them on like the WeTransfers were, and I went to go and they'd gone, and I'm like, that was not good.
That's not good.
So there would have been one today, but we didn't download them in time.
But I tell you what, you're probably wondering what's here. Well, a lot of people won't wonder.
You should know what that is.
Let's have it. Right. We'll give away a prize if people can get the correct amount of times I've whacked that microphone today. It's a clanger, and this was sent to me, and this has been on my Christmas tree, and I loved the clangers.
The clangers are awesome.
Can't really tell you what a clanger was because could be an anteater, could be a pink elephant, could be a mouse with a big nose. But
they're awesome. And they're back, apparently.
They're back. They've got a new show with the clangers, and I think I should do this because I dropped a clanger.
You dropped a clanger.
I dropped a clanger.
We need a rim shot somewhere.
But the last story, and I'm sure tons of our Brits will have seen this story on social media. There's a Scottish guy, and his name is Josh Quigley. Cycling around the world. Has done Asia, I forgot where I did Australia, and he was in the States 5 days away from his goal. I think he started it around about April 2019, suffered with depression, tried to kill himself, and cycling has been his safe haven, So he wanted to, do this amazing, essentially a world tour. I mean, that's one of his goals, a world tour. Raising awareness, helping himself more than anything. And he's 5 days away from his goal of finishing the States. He's in Texas and he gets hit by a car at 70 miles an hour. He's thrown 50 feet, off his bike. And some people stopped, thankfully. I don't know what happened to the car that hit him. No idea. But they stopped, called the ambulance, and off he goes, and he's in Texas, and he's by himself. He's not from here, He's cycling around. So this story went very quickly, particularly around our British community, and people started saying, "Brits in Texas," because there's a group of Brits in Texas.
There is.
Anybody?
We're not on that one.
I just joined them today. They gave me permission, and can anyone go and see him? He's in hospital. I mean, they just felt so bad for him. And that's what a lot of people did.
Oh, wow.
And they went to see him, a total stranger.
That's great.
So they went to see him, give him some support. Now, I did contact Josh today, and I was hoping I could get him on the show. But the good news is he's moving from hospital into rehab.
All right.
He is not in a position to fly home.
How long ago was the accident?
I think it was literally just before Christmas.
Oh, man.
I think it was in hospital for Christmas.
Well, wait, hold on. He's moving out of hospital.
Oh, this is amazing.
Into rehab, and it happened. He was hit at 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, in 7 days. Because I looked, when you see the before and after picture, you go, hang on a minute here. This is like two different people. And he said in one of his videos, I cycle fast, I live fast, and I'm recovering fast. I cannot believe this guy is such an inspiration. I mean, as I say, I was chit-chatting with him today. And because he's moving, we couldn't bring him on the show. But hopefully I'll be able to get some kind of an interview with him once he gets settled in. I'd love for everybody to know about him.
Yeah.
Can't believe how positive this guy is. Wow. This is a guy who's battling depression, who's been hit by a car at 70 miles an hour. If I'm not wrong, 10 broken ribs, broken heel, broken hip, crack in the skull, and something to do with an artery to the brain.
Oh, my God.
I mean, he said, I feel like a baby having to learn everything all over again. But this guy, he must be made of steel mentally. Yeah. And I think he's going to be such an inspiration. And he just felt like it's part of the journey.
Wow.
I mean, I get a headache and I'm like, oh, I'm so pathetic with my weighted blanket at home. Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it goes back to what we were saying about the things that really become important in life.
Yes, that's right.
And sometimes it's incidents like these that can really drive that home.
And he can't go back for 6 weeks, even though his insurance is trying to say he can go back in 7 days. No. But there are people that have reached out and said, I have a room at my house. You can come to my house. You can recover at my house. Total strangers. So I want to bring him on the show. We'll try and get hold of him this week, see if we can get an interview. I think he'll be very inspirational, but I just want to say a big thank you to the British community.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
To rally around total stranger going, he's by himself. And I'm sure his family was so appreciative of that.
Yeah.
So, Josh Quigley, we'll be having you on the show.
Absolutely, Josh. And if you're watching, do get well soon. It sounds like you are.
I've never seen a rapid recovery like it, but back to what your mind can do is amazing. So mind management, and I see a movie, I see a book coming out of this. But his ultimate goal, he said, is he wants to be the first Scottishman to win the Tour de France. He's got many goals to do. So he's like, I gotta get this 5 days done. He's gonna finish it.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
So I thought it was a great story. He's doing well, and if we get an interview, that'd be brilliant.
We'll work on that one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I think it's been a very good me, you, and a cup of tea show and a clanger.
And a clanger. So we will be doing a lot more of the shows that this has been our chill show.
It has, and I've enjoyed it.
But we've got lots of guests and features lined up for you over the coming weeks and months. We're whatever this is, show 17 now, I think it is.
Something like that. It's amazing what we've done.
We're still at the beginning of everything that we're doing here, but we're finding our feet. We're kind of figuring it out.
I think we're doing okay.
We're getting there. And hopefully you guys are enjoying it too.
Don't forget to tell us where you're from, because we have a globe, and we keep putting the diamantes on it, when someone tells us where they're from. And today we did ask a question, and that was, if you or someone who does a unique job, we want to know about them, because there are some very unique jobs in this country.
There is. And you'll probably end up on the show.
Yeah, probably will.
Exactly. Well, that was great. Yeah, I hear the music. I guess that's our cue.
Yeah, they're telling us to get lost and go away.
We'll see you next time. All right.
Thanks for spilling the tea with us, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.